This week, we'll be showing you how to create a good lesson plan and set up your lesson content online so easily that before you know it, you'll be launching your very own online course website. I honestly couldn't begin guessing the number of community members who have told us how they've wanted to teach an online course or have always wondered about becoming a web creating guru themselves someday. Whether your goal in sharing your knowledge is to promote your skills and services or perhaps to monetize your years of valuable experience and expertise, this week we're showing you just how easily you can achieve that goal. Now, I'm sure you're eager to get started designing and building pages for your online course, but having a great website is one thing. Having a great course is quite another. And as everything else we've looked at in these masterclasses, the best way to approach a task and see great results is to begin with thorough preparation and planning. The first thing that we want to do is set time aside in our calendar to work on our course. We need to determine how long we want to spend on research and planning, writing and recording. And we also need to set a deadline for when we will launch our course. This is to keep us focused and time efficient. We can also make our research and planning stage more efficient by breaking it down into segments, beginning with interests. Speak to clients and colleagues about what they are interested in learning. Visit community news feeds and learn what they are most interested in or passionate about. By now, you've probably already acquired plenty of skills while working on Elementor and WordPress sites that other web creators are interested in learning. There are plenty of related topics such as SEO, copywriting, caching, site performance, web design, and so on. And as professionals, we're always looking to learn something that will improve our own skills. Now, once we have a basic idea for our course, we should ask friends and colleagues, even past clients, what they think about a course on this subject. Is it something that they would like to learn? Do they know of other people who might be interested? Would they consider paying to learn these things? How much should we charge for such a course? The goal of any content that we create is to draw the attention of clients or prospective clients. We usually succeed in doing this by striking a chord with a topic that interests them. So make this one your primary factor when you decide on your course topics. The second thing we should be researching are, of course, keywords. Having found the best keywords for your subject, use them to phrase the title of your course, tags, and the descriptions. Keyword research will give you tremendous insight. For example, which of these two course titles do you think would rank better in search results? How to Master Adobe Photoshop or Adobe Photoshop 101? They might seem as though there's very little difference, but that difference translates into our search ranking being on the top or on the bottom of the pile. A great way to do our research is to look to our competitors. Knowing what the competition is doing will help us avoid similar mistakes and perhaps even do something that they hadn't thought of. Check out their courses. Are they doing the same content that we want to offer? How can we make our content even better? And what can we offer our students to give them better value? Now, this will not only help to inspire us, but it will help us to understand the competitive landscape of what alternative options exist for our prospective students. Now, obviously, the best thing any tutor could offer their students is practicality. Bottom line, will our course provide practical skills that students could begin applying the moment they complete the course? Now, once we've identified the practical skills that we're providing, we should make sure to highlight them throughout the course description. Prospective students will look for courses with actionable outcomes, so make it easy for them to find those outcomes when they read about it in your course. With a good sense of what our prospective students are interested in and how to help them find what they're looking for, it's time to plan our course. A simple way to approach this planning stage is through following the ABC. Beginning with A, For actualize and outline, we should be creating an outline for every form of content that we provide because it helps us stay focused on the goal of that content. But by actualizing our outline, we're adding practical value to our lessons and to our course overall. So think of it as a well thought out workflow. On to B. Begin with the basics and build up each lesson until you reach the goal. C. Keep it coherent and linear, because this makes the context logical and easier to remember. Going forward, then backtracking to prepare something else for the next step is just complicated and very confusing. A great way to see what a well-planned outline looks like is by going to places like Amazon. There we could browse the table of contents of the best-selling books and videos on similar subjects to see what material they cover and in what order. With our outline perfected, we can flesh out our lessons, and obviously this may also require some additional research and study on our part. Some great places to look for the kind of material that will inspire our students are professional blogs and forums, other online courses, or better yet, through conversations with community members and fellow web creators. Once we're finished creating our lessons, we'll move on to creating the place where these lessons will appear, our very own online course website. We're going to upload and set up the lessons and the content for our online course to an existing site in 3 simple steps. Now, as some of you already know, Elementor recently released a brand new template kit purposely designed to provide a simple means for users to set up and manage a complete and dedicated website for online courses. Now, a great thing about template kits is that we can just pick and choose the templates that we want to use, which is great for us here since we're adding our course to our existing site. And we'll go right ahead and do that now, beginning with step number 1. We'll install the templates that we need from this template kit the same way as we would any other template. Now, on the WordPress dashboard, we'll go to Pages and add a new page to our site. Now, this page that we're creating will serve as a place to introduce visitors to the course. So we'll name this page Course, and we'll click on Edit with Elementor. In Elementor, we'll open the Templates library. Obviously, we'll have to be connected to our Elementor account to be able to access the library. We'll search for Online Course, and from the results, we'll select this template right here for a courses page and click Insert to add it to our new page. Like all of our templates, you can add or remove widgets and use the options in the style tabs of the widgets themselves to design it the way you would like to see it. When we're done, we'll click here to save our draft and move on to step number 2 and focus on the lessons themselves, the content that is essential to our purpose. The way that the online course template works is by utilizing the advantages of WordPress as a content management platform to organize posts and archives. So we'll be creating each lesson as a separate post, and then those posts are going to be archived together as a course. Now, we'll also be using WordPress's category option to create dynamic links to our lessons or posts, and we'll do that right now by going to the Posts tab on the dashboard and select Categories. And here we'll set up each lesson as a category. We'll basically just copy-paste the title of each lesson from the lesson plan that we created earlier. And as you can see, the course that we're using for this demonstration only has 3 lessons, but you can have as many as you need. With the categories set, we can create our lessons and add content the same way as we would any other post. We'll add a new post, give it a title, assign it to the category of the same name. Then we'll copy and paste the text and the images. We should also add an excerpt and tags while we're here. When we're done, we'll click on Save Draft because it's always better to be safe than sorry. Now, there are a couple of things that we could do to make our course look even more professional. It's considered good practice as well as good incentive for students to set up a timing system and monitor time management for our lessons. We could add some custom dynamic fields to our post pages showing the estimated time it should take a student to complete each lesson. And to do this, we'll click on these 3 dots or menu icon in the top right-hand corner. We'll go down to the bottom of this menu and click on Options and then make sure that the Custom Fields option is selected.
Now we may have to reload the page for this change to take effect, so if you haven't saved your draft, do that first. Now that the custom fields option is accessible, we'll click here on Enter New so that we can create a completely new field with a new name, and we'll call it Estimated Time to Complete Lesson. Now this is just a label for us to understand what this is. And we'll also add the value of this particular lesson. Let's estimate it as being 25 minutes, and we'll click on Add Custom Field, and it's done. Another thing that we could do to spruce up our lesson pages is to move on to step number 3 and design a cool template for our lessons. Now, while we're already here on WordPress dashboard, we'll go into the Templates tab, and with the theme builder selected, we'll go to set up a template for our lesson post, the same way as we would any other type of post. We'll add New, select Single, then select Post as our type of single asset. We'll name it Lesson and click on Create Template. Now, we can skip this and go straight onto the Elementor editor to create a design from scratch, or we could use the options here in the library and save ourselves a lot of time just by searching for the course single post or single lesson template from the kit that we've already borrowed from. And as you can see, we have 2 almost identical templates. Now, the difference is this button right here. This template serves as a template for the last lesson of the course, with this button placed here for the student to click on, which could be either linked to a pop-up or a page to congratulate our student upon finishing the course. We could also use this button's dynamic links to register the student as having completed the course. Personally, I don't honestly feel that we need this here, as we're creating a course as simply as possible. So I'll just select this simple template, and we'll click Insert and use it for all of our lessons. Now, while we're here, we can add a few extra elements, such as the estimated time field that we created earlier. To do that, we'll go to the widget library and search for the post info widget. Then we'll drag and place it on our page. Then with the widget selected, we'll return to the editor panel, and in the content tab, we'll delete all of the superfluous fields. We'll leave just one and click on it to access the options. We'll change the field type to custom. Then just beneath that, we'll click on this icon here to access the dynamic tags. And from the menu, we'll select the post custom field. And with the post custom field linked, we'll click on it again to access its settings and select our estimated time field in the key option. If we want to, we can also go to the advanced section and add a label to appear before the field, estimated time to complete this lesson. And like everything else, we can go into the style tab and set the typography and the color of the field any way we wish.
Now, once we're happy with our template design, we'll publish it and set the conditions to appear according to specific categories, which in our case are also specific lessons. This way, we set this template to appear with all of the lessons and click Save. Now I'll go to one of my posts and check that everything is okay. And as you can see, our content is nestled nicely within our single post, or should I say single lesson template. Now, I'd like to go to our course page because I'd like to show you a quick way to link up our lessons. Now, as you can see, we have a nice toggle widget where we can list all of our lessons. And all we need to do is select the widget, and on the editor panel in the content tab, we'll edit the text to suit our lessons. And to link each section of the toggle to our actual lesson, we'll just add some text, begin this lesson, and use the hypertext options to turn the text into a hyperlink. We'll click on the settings or link options, and here we'll select the appropriate lesson from the list and click Update. And we'll repeat this for the rest of our lessons. Alternatively, we could just as easily create a menu back on the WordPress dashboard by going to the Appearance tab and selecting Menus, and there in the dialog box, create a menu using the Categories option, thus creating a lesson menu that we can link to a navigation or nav menu widget on our course page. Now, with our lessons set up online and our website organized, the next step is monetization. While this is an optional step for some, for many others, especially as we see our way through the COVID-19 crisis, monetizing their course online is crucial. Either way, it's a very simple step. The simplest way to monetize your content that we could recommend is by creating a pop-up in the Elementor theme builder. Now, in practice, this pop-up can serve to block content from view, only granting access to viewers who have paid for a subscription to your content. Now, as you can see, the template kit doesn't include a payment system where you can charge users for the course. This requires a professional purpose-built learning management system, or LMS, plugin. If, once you've completed setting up your website, you prefer to monetize your online course using an LMS, there are some great tools out there. Among them, we would highly recommend Lifter LMS, LearnDash, or MemberPress. These will also help you to manage the financial transactions involved in course enrollment. This week, we looked at online courses, not just what makes a course great, but also how to set up our very own online course and recommended ways that you could use to monetize it. Now, this masterclass is one of several that we've produced over the past 8 weeks to help small businesses and self-employed professionals in our community to get ahead rather than lose out as we all see our way through this crisis as best we can. And we sincerely hope that you find that this and our previous masterclasses help in bringing you a whole new world of business opportunities and revenue. And if you have any tips and advice that could help other users plan and set up and monetize their online courses or other valued content, then please add them in the comments below. And if you have any criticisms, we are equally interested in your feedback. And if you've enjoyed this masterclass and you found it helpful, insightful, or inspiring, then make sure that you click on the subscribe button and tap that bell so that you don't miss out on our next masterclass. Because after all, our goal is to be the best at helping others excel at their craft. Thanks for watching. Cheers.